What you're looking at is a store in Guangzhou, China. In that bag is Totoaba ma, the dried swim bladder of an endangered fish from Mexico that's illegal to sell. The seller, whose face we're not showing, offers each for about $10,000, but they can reach 10 times that value depending on their size and age. We don't know if he's aware, but he's the last link of a vast chain of illegal activities enabling the fish maw to travel 7,000 miles to reach his store. It all begins in Mexico, in the Gulf of California, just 97 miles from the US, where the Totoaba is endemic. The demand for its swim bladder is at the heart of the issue. Two key towns in this region, San Felipe and Santa Clara, rely almost entirely on shrimp and fish. But engaging in illicit Totoaba fishing can provide a substantial paycheck. That's why it has been overfished for decades. A catch like this could generate hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Quítate la verga. Quítate la verga.
But there's a huge ecological cost. Both the nets used to fish Totoaba, as well as those used for other legal species, have a knowingly bycatch small porpoise native to the Gulf of California, the Vaquita marina. This has pushed it to the brink of extinction, with about a dozen vaquitas left in the world. The US is exerting pressure on Mexico over the issue, and scientists, along with environmentalists and law enforcement in several countries, are working tirelessly to save the vaquita, to halt Totoaba trafficking, and develop sustainable alternatives to harmful nets. For the past 3 years, me and my producer Miguel Fernandez Flores have been investigating this emergency at the Sea of Cortez.
So we're about 45 minutes into the Sea of Cortez in the upper Gulf of California, and we're headed towards that ship right there, where there's currently scientists that are trying to figure out if La Vaquita marina, right, the world's most endangered marine mammal, is actually on the brink of extinction.
Estamos en el Alto Golfo de California, que es donde, entre otras especies, habita la vaquita, la única especie de mamífero marino endémico de aguas mexicanas.
Armando Jaramillo is one of the foremost marine biologists in vaquita conservation. Since the 90s, he has conducted surveys and analyzed acoustic data to determine the current vaquita population.
¿Cómo están observando y monitoreando ahora mismo la vaquita?
Bueno, la vaquita es un animal que es huidizo, lo que quiere decir que le molesta o le asusta el ruido de las embarcaciones y tiende a alejarse de esas embarcaciones. En 1997 hicimos el primer crucero específicamente diseñado para estimar la abundancia de esta especie, que fue cuando estimamos alrededor de 600 individuos en la población. Lo repetimos en 2008, cuando estimamos que había unas 250. Lo repetimos en 2015, cuando estimamos que había 59. Para 2018 estimamos que podrían quedar menos de 20. Lo importante es que cada vez que hemos tenido la oportunidad de observar a la población, hay crías. Y la presencia de crías es importantísima.
The Mexican government created a federally protected zone called the Vaquita Refuge. In 2020, they established a zero-tolerance area, or ZTA, which spans 225 square kilometers, where the vaquita mostly inhabits. According to Mexican legislation, all fishing activity and unauthorized vessel transit are forbidden within the ZTA.
O sea, técnicamente estamos en la zona de cero tolerancia, pero hace una hora vi a un par de barcos pequeños, de pandas, porque estaban ahí.
Porque pueden. Es el problema, que no hay forma de detener la pesca, ¿no?
¿Qué le diría usted a una persona como ellas para convencerles de que hay una crisis en este momento?
Yo creo que lo más importante por decirles es que, siendo miembros de la misma comunidad, están estimulando el desarrollo de actividades criminales y están poniendo en riesgo a los poblados.
¿Qué solución ve?
Artes alternativos a las redes que hoy estamos viendo que están echando en la zona, que puedan permitir que sigan pescando, pero que no capturen vaquitas.
Toda mi familia ha sido pescadora, mi papá, mis tíos, mis abuelos, toda mi familia ha sido pescadora y yo tengo ya más de 30 años pescando.
In 2020, the US government restricted the importation of shrimp and fish from this region to protect vaquitas, causing local fisheries to lose a substantial portion of their income. Efforts are underway to find alternative fishing methods that prevent vaquita bycatch.
El vato va a salir en la televisión y es el pescador, la mascota y la estrella. Mira la cara que pone. Es el actor intelectual.
But fishermen seem to be caught between three nets: the infamous Totoaba gill nets, this chinchorro mandated by the Mexican government, and the gill nets they've used forever for fish and shrimp, but aren't vaquita safe. This is the first one, the Totoaba, which was used for years to catch totoaba and anything that went through it.
Esta es una red decomisada por los oficiales de Conapesca. Es una red totoabera, nos la prestaron para hacer estas imágenes. Estas redes las dejaban en alta mar y ahí quedaban. Iban, revisaban un día y se venían, y otro día pues ahí la dejaban, y pues sí corrían peligro alguna otra especie, aparte de la totoaba, de quedar atrapadas dentro de ellas, porque sí son unas redes fantasmas exactamente.
Lorenzo Guadalupe Garcia is the president of one federation of fishermen in San Felipe, representing hundreds of legal fishermen. The Mexican government has attempted to enforce the use of a specific type of net, known as the chinchorro de arrastre, considered safe for vaquitas. However, according to these fishermen, it is not practical for their needs.
Este es el famoso chinchorro, fue creado por el instituto y por algunos compañeros pescadores de la localidad, pero pues realmente este arte de pesca no ha funcionado. El suficiente camarón no lo captura para poder ser sostenible, para que nosotros podamos vivir de ello.
Cuando esta malla agarra el pescado y yo ya jalo para subir el pescado, esta malla se cierra y aprieta los pescados, no los deja salir. Por eso es que para nosotros los pescadores, esta arte de pesca, que es el chinchorro de arrastre, es el peor depredador del mar. Acaba con todo.
Though technically illegal, gill nets are preferred by fishermen for their catch volume and higher profits. They're trying to make them safe for vaquitas.
Este es el que podíamos hacer el arreglo, pero le podemos poner el calibre en la línea más delgadito, no importa. Es frágil de romperse, mire. Es malla delgada. Entonces, si quiere el gobierno a llegar a algún acuerdo con nosotros, le puede poner a este firmamento, ponerle más delgado, no le hace. Vamos a trabajar más nosotros, vamos a gastar un poquito más, pero va a salir para hacerlo.
Un equipo de este, jalándolo con un motor de esos, el motor te dura 2 años cuando mucho. Y con una red te dura hasta 10, 15 años un motor, dando el mantenimiento bien, todo eso. Y el gobierno te mete esto con eso, nos
ahorca.
Nos ahorca.
Although NGOs here have developed vaquita-safe fishing methods, the Mexican government hasn't promoted them, and instead has tolerated illegal gill nets in the upper Gulf. A significant number are constantly deployed right on the border of the zero-tolerance area, as shown in this image depicting Totoaba nets in the ZTA from 2016 to 2018.
La mayoría de los pescadores no estamos en contra de proteger a la especie marina. Si es la vaquita, hay que protegerla, pero que no por querer proteger a la vaquita nos dejen abandonados a nosotros. Somos un puerto que vivimos de la pesca, no sabemos hacer otra cosa más que pescar.
So why is Totoaba moss so appealing? When Chinese workers encountered the Totoaba over 100 years ago, it resembled their native bajaba, a fish prized for its dried swim bladder that was fished to extinction. Eyeing an opportunity, they established towns like San Felipe around the Totoaba fishery and began shipping its dried swim bladder, or maw, back to China. In 2000, the Journal of the Southwest studied the history of commercial Totoaba fishing right here. We can see the first fishermen catching Totoaba as early as 1920 in the coast of San Felipe. Look at this dried Totoaba bladder. The Asian demand for maw has only increased, and today, it fuels a lucrative black market.
We're headed towards an island that apparently is full of dead Totoabas who have been poached to remove their bladders. And what we're about to see is just a reflection of how illegal fishing has become just another way of survival around this region.
Aquí todo esto se llena de estos animales, donde los vienen a tirar los pescadores. Ya una vez que le sacan lo que ellos necesitan, aquí vienen a tirar el resto.
This fisherman sometimes fishes Totoaba to make a living. He agreed to take us to see where bodies of Totoaba wash up after their swim bladders are removed. He's asked us to hide his identity in order to speak candidly.
Lo que estamos viendo ahora mismo es ilegal, ¿no? O sea, pescar la Totoaba es ilegal. ¿Por qué lo están haciendo los pescadores?
Bueno, mira, como decimos aquí en San Felipe, ¿no? Hay que sacar algo para poder vivir. Muchos pescadores se arriesgan la vida para tratar de conseguir algo y llevar a su casa y todo, pues en la mesa, los trabajos y todo eso que se ofrece no son lo suficiente, menos en un pueblo pequeño.
O sea, si uno está pescando de manera legal, más o menos ¿cuánto dinero ganan al mes?
Si estoy pescando de manera legal, se agarran 2,000, 3,000 o 4,000 pesos en cada salida.
Y luego si van a por una Totoaba, ¿cuánto ganan?
Cuando tiran la red ellos no se viene una, se vienen hasta 15, 20, 30 posiblemente. Si le están dando 3,000 o 2,500 dólares por pieza, por kilo, pues claro que les conviene mejor pues ir a pescar una de estas, ¿verdad? Esa es la diferencia.
Más o menos de todos los pescadores que están en esta región, más o menos, ¿cuántos diría usted que están involucrados en la pesca ilegal de Totoabas?
Puede que más o menos la mitad, y la otra mitad están tratando de legalizar todo porque pues por ellos estos se ven afectados también. Atrás de los cerros, ahí van y tiran de a 30, 40 completos pescados.
¿En serio?
Vamos ahorita mejor. Y ya si quieres por tierra te doy por donde detrás de los cerros donde están todos los cuerpos que tienen también.
These hills are on the outskirts of San Felipe, and it's where a lot of the local fishermen will come here at night so no one can watch them, and they dump their dead Totoaba. Some have been here for weeks, months, and the smell is absolutely horrible, right? I mean, it's a really, really, really strong smell.
He visto, yendo hacia aquí, he visto muchísimas Totoabas muertas, así, muchísimas, por todas partes.
Por eso se le conoció como la cocaína del mar a esto, porque tuvo mucho valor, mucho precio y de hecho muchos conflictos. Y aún sigue siendo fuerte todavía. Mientras haya comerciante, comprador, no se va a parar.
The significance of swim bladders in Chinese culture is evidenced in the widespread availability of legal maw in markets and restaurants throughout the country, valued for their perceived health benefits. The legal swim bladder industry imports hundreds of millions of dollars annually to China. Larger maws are highly prized and often given as gifts, traditionally at weddings and ceremonial practices. During the latest crackdown since 2020, there have been at least 2,300 Totoaba bladders seized worldwide, worth millions of dollars, which environmental groups say is a reflection of a thriving market. One of them, the Environmental Investigation Agency, discovered an abundance of Totoaba sales on social media platforms like Facebook and WeChat, with hundreds of maws available to the general public. This worldwide trafficking is conducted by various units of the Chinese mafia, originating in Mexico and distributing to different markets globally.
So on May 1st, Mexican authorities arrested a Chinese man who was carrying 130 kilos worth of Totoaba bladder. That's millions and millions of dollars. And so we're about to talk to a member of the local authority who can tell us a little bit more about what the implications are for that.
En investigación en Mexicali coincidió por ahí con una denuncia anónima. Pero esta denuncia anónima nos hacía referencia a una persona de origen asiático que llegaba a un domicilio, estaba específicamente dispuesto ese domicilio para resguardar esto, y a la persona responsable que fue detenida en el lugar y que además se hacía acompañar por 2 guardias de seguridad privada, tener la capacidad de distribución, de concentración, de todo esto, de 238 buches de Totoaba, no lo hace cualquier persona.
Sí, están hablando del señor Ming, ¿no? De Mr. Ming. ¿Qué saben de él?
Hasta el momento se encuentra vinculado a proceso, está en prisión preventiva justificada por las circunstancias del evento delictivo.
Me dijo que había cientos de vejigas. ¿Las podríamos ver?
Claro.
Estos eran los mismos refrigeradores que encontraron en la casa del señor Ming.
Es correcto. Abres esto y esto es lo que encuentras.
Uf, huele fuerte. Encontraron estos 3 refrigeradores llenos de estas cajas.
Así es.
Exactamente aquí, ¿cuántos buches encontraron?
Pues un monto aproximado de $20 millones, que es lo que se ha referido, pero obviamente esto no puede ser como una comunicación, un dato oficial, ¿no? Para nosotros, pues, el valor es más que ello, el económico, sino el intrínseco en relación al daño ambiental que se está provocando.
Y si no hubiesen encontrado esto, ¿habría acabado dónde? ¿En las manos
pues seguramente
de un mercado chino?
De un mercado, exactamente.
For a long time, Ming has been on the radar of Earth League International, an organization made up of former intelligence, law enforcement, and security professionals, focused on exposing wildlife crimes. Earth League's director, Andrea Grosta, and his team uncovered Ming's operation after infiltrating each step in the trade from Mexico to Asia. In 2018, Grosta shared his findings with the Mexican government, to no avail.
Mr. Ming was recently busted. Who is he? I mean, has he been in this region for a long time?
Yes, he's a young guy, second-generation Totoaba traffickers. It's very comfortable in Mexico. He got arrested with $10 million of Totoaba in Mexicali.
But this was the first time the
Yes.
Mexican government actually is holding someone accountable for this.
Yes, it was luck, but still, the fact that they have him in custody, apparently they are charging him. I think it will be a very strong signal to the others, to the other Chinese traffickers in Mexico. This is what you're risking. Stop.
Grosta and his team also used hidden cameras to capture those selling Totoaba Ma at the end of the illicit supply chain in China.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
We wanted to understand who are the wholesalers, who are importing from Mexico. We went to this person a few times until one day Totoaba was ready.
And so this seller, with that Totoaba that he was about to sell, how much would he make for that?
In China, it's very common to find swim bladders for $30,000, $35,000, $40,000, $45,000 a kilo. We filmed in China undercover swim bladders for $85,000, $100,000 per swim bladder. So you can imagine the profits. This guy, I'm sure, is completely oblivious about the vaquita.
I was about to say how.
No, it does. I'm 100% sure they are not aware of the vaquita. They're not aware of Sea of Cortez. They're not aware of anything.
How big is the Chinese cartel, and how many people are operating right here in this region, approximately?
Chinese traffickers specialize in Totoaba. I think they are maybe 5, 6. They're not so many. If you bust them, you will feel the effect, the ripple effect, all the way to Baja California. It's not so difficult.
When you're thinking of disrupting and dismantling this Chinese criminal network, what is the perfect entry point? I mean, is it at the end of the supply chain, or do you start here in Mexico?
You start here in Mexico, with the Chinese traffickers. They set the price, they make it available, they make the most difficult part of the job, which is taking the Totoaba, drying up, smuggling, so they take also some risk. So they are the main target. They should be the main targets of this whole thing.
We went to Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador's daily press conference to inquire about EarthLeague's International's findings.
En este reporte, a este hombre se le identificaba como una persona que formaba parte de la mafia china, es decir, que estaban controlando el tráfico ilegal de la Totoaba. Y este informe fue mandado al gobierno mexicano. Así que mi pregunta es sencilla. ¿Qué está haciendo su gobierno para combatir el crimen organizado chino, particularmente sabiendo que son los que están financiando el tráfico ilegal de la Totoaba?
A ver, mírate.
During the presser, the Secretary of the Navy, to whom the President delegated the task of answering our questions, acknowledged awareness of Gurosta's report.
En lo que es el Alto Golfo de California, ahí en San Felipe, se tiene un operativo constante con varias unidades de superficie en donde estamos trabajando para disminuir al máximo sobre todo el buche de Totoaba, ¿no? Tenemos conocimiento de lo que usted nos dice y esto es un trabajo que se requiere algún determinado tiempo para llegar a consolidar ciertas situaciones que nos puedan ayudar a llegar a las detenciones. Hay muchas autoridades coludidas, entonces es un trabajo que se tiene que hacer con mucho cuidado para poder tener resultados.
A few months later, we were granted access to the operations of the Mexican Navy that the Secretary described.
¡Atención! ¡Bandera!
The San Felipe Naval Zone has the mission of guarding the zero-tolerance area, working with other Mexican fishing authorities to ensure that all vessels entering these waters are first inspected for permits and proper nets. Early at the Naval Zone today, there was a checkpoint to review the fishermen's permits. During the high season, there are long queues, but today, in the low season, only a couple of fishermen pass through. The Mexican Navy has permanent radar coverage from one of their ships. This patrol vessel, which constantly monitors suspicious boats within the ZTA.
La actividad de pesca, específicamente la pesca de Totoaba, no es que sea una pesca inmediata, no llegan a un área, tienen una red e inmediatamente capturan Totoaba. Y entonces podemos entrar en esta fase preventiva para evitar la captura. Porque una vez capturada, es más difícil nosotros controlar el problema. Entonces lo que nos ha estado funcionando es esta parte preventiva.
Servicio de reporte para los blancos, por favor. Menores.
Te voy a requerir la latitud y longitud, por favor. A ver si copiado, 31 grados 06.1 minutos norte.
The radars of the head patrol vessels detected 3 targets of interest, so we were sent to investigate them.
Si hay redes, vamos a pedirles que se retiren, que las levanten y se retiren. Queremos ver qué tipo de red son. Y si son de pesca de almeja, que presenten su permiso. ¿Sí pasaron?
Son las que pasaron por la rampa, son almejeras.
¿Todo bien entonces?
Vámonos.
Hay actividades que no representan un riesgo a la especie que está en peligro, que es la vaquita marina, y que están permitidas.
Shortly after our visit, the Mexican government installed 193 concrete blocks equipped with 10-foot hooks designed to entangle gillnets around the zero-tolerance area. The blocks, in addition to the surveillance by the Mexican Navy with the help of the marine conservation organization Sea Shepherd, are arguably the most significant steps taken to date toward helping the remaining vaquitas, with a 75% decrease in use of gillnets in the area, according to scientists. In 2023, the Mexican government announced 216 additional blocks in the ZTA. But scientists argue that by solely focusing on the ZTA, the government neglects the rest of the Gulf of California, which ultimately isn't sustainable. Yet problems continue to persist. The checkpoints to control the access to the Gulf have proven to be less than effective. During our many visits to San Felipe, we captured footage of boats disembarking and embarking at unauthorized points, including those along the main malecón of the city. We asked Captain Colorado about this in 2022.
Durante nuestro último viaje aquí, hemos visto muchas embarcaciones que entran de noche por el malecón. Esto es ilegal.
Sí, los sitios de desembarco están en el acuerdo del 24 de septiembre. Establece cuáles son los sitios de desembarque autorizados, pero también tener en cuenta que la misma orografía de San Felipe hace proclive a de que cualquier campo pesquero o campo turístico que cuente con gradiente de playa, porque la playa está muy bien compactada, puede ser un sitio de desembarco. Obviamente que lo tenemos en el radar, tenemos que nosotros ser más eficientes en el mar.
Despite ongoing efforts, evidence suggests that this activity persists to this day. Vice News obtained footage from the Center for Biological Diversity showing boats leaving the sea at unauthorized points in San Felipe as recently as January 2024. Additionally, during our reporting, we became aware that a new market for Totoaba ma was emerging in the United States.
Hay organizaciones que hacen labor encubierta en la frontera y en Estados Unidos que reportan la venta de Totoaba recientemente, en los últimos meses, por unas cantidades bastante grandes.
Desconozco en realidad la información que me comenta de qué tipo de comercialización. Sé que ya se está comercializando con este tipo de Totoaba de gran.
No, buche ilegal de tamaño de alevines grandes, de más de 1 kilo, para comercio ilegal.
Honestamente desconocía del tema sobre comercio masivo de buche, pero sí le puedo garantizar de que aquí lo del despliegue es permanente y de que hemos tenido los resultados de recuperación de redes, actualmente más de 13 kilómetros de redes, en su mayor cantidad totoaberas, que son las que se emplean para la captura.
Although Captain Colorado said he was unaware that mass Totoaba trafficking was happening in the region, we were granted a call with an operative from the Sinaloa Cartel, responsible for transportation and sales of Totoaba in the Upper Gulf.
Hola, buenas, ¿qué tal? Le habla la reportera de Vice News. ¿Me podría decir para qué organización trabaja usted?
Sinaloa.
Dentro de la organización, ¿qué rol tiene usted? ¿Es un comandante?
Yo soy encargado.
¿Es un encargado de plaza?
Así es, sí, así es. Yo me encargo de todo. Yo conozco quién va para China, quién va para Estados Unidos, pero el que es la Totoaba.
¿Y el cártel de Sinaloa controla la región de San Felipe?
Así es. Trabajamos desde el Golfo hasta San Felipe.
Las redes sabemos que están prohibidas en esta región de San Felipe. Entonces, ¿ustedes las compran, se las dan a los pescadores, se las traen a las lanchas? ¿Cómo le hacen?
Así es. Nosotros mismos fabricamos las redes, debido a que pues, no podemos quitar o pasar así con ellas. Entonces, nosotros la vamos fabricando en el transcurso del camino. Tenemos chavos que también ya están capacitados como para hacer las redes. No es una cosa difícil.
¿Cómo colaboran ustedes con los pescadores de San Felipe, entonces?
Yo a mis pescadores les doy podría decirse, pues a una ayuda, ¿no? De $600 por Totoaba que ellos me den a mí.
Se oye mucho de la demanda en China, pero Estados Unidos realmente no se oye tanto. Cuénteme un poco la demanda que usted ha observado en Estados Unidos.
La verdad, se me hace raro que me diga que no escucha mucha demanda en Estados Unidos, porque la verdad es una de las principales competencias donde generamos más dinero, a lo mejor porque estamos cerca aquí en la frontera.
Wow.
Pero sí es una fuente de dinero para nosotros de ahí.
Más o menos, ¿de cuánto dinero estamos hablando? Cuando me está diciendo que genera bastante, ¿más o menos cuánto?
Al día sacamos de 5 a 8 diarias y nosotros mandamos cada semana aproximadamente a Estados Unidos Déjeme sacar cuentas, 40 y poco. Son $475,000 a la semana.
O sea que $475,000 por semana ganan de Estados Unidos.
De Estados Unidos solamente.
Worldwide, the two largest seizures in 2023 occurred in Arizona. One involving 91 bladders and the second involving 270. There were also two major cases in California for importing and selling Totoaba bladders in the US. According to the indictment, one defendant allegedly sold 23 bladders to a law enforcement informant for $247,000, but claimed to possess up to 2 million stored. Another individual is accused of buying and selling Totoaba bladders on at least 5 occasions between 2021 and 2023. Vice News reached out to two key law enforcement agencies involved in combating the illicit Totoaba trade in the US, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and Homeland Security Investigations. Both agencies acknowledged the existence of a domestic market for Totoaba products, but downplayed its size. The recent arrests at the border were made in part thanks to Andrea Grosta's team at Earth League International. We met up with him again in New York to ask him about his investigation into the demand for Totoaba in the U.S.
A Sinaloa cartel operative told us on the phone that the U.S. actually was one of their biggest consumers, as much as the Asian market as well.
Right.
Is that
it makes sense. Key players in Mexico, international traffickers, were telling us that there is a market in the U.S., most probably Asian customers all over the U.S. I remember one trafficker specifically telling us that they send the Totoaba to sort of hidden illegal hospitals in the U.S. where rich, wealthy Chinese women come to the U.S. to give birth in the U.S. so the kids are American. And because Totoaba bladders, according to traditional Chinese medicine, is exactly for pregnant women, so according to our information, there is a domestic market in the U.S., probably also in Europe. We don't have evidence for that, but I would not be surprised.
In our trips in 2021, we saw 100 kilos of seized Totoaba buche in Mexicali by a guy called Mr. Ming. We've spoken about him. What happened to Mr. Ming?
Well, we've seen it many times. They get arrested and they go to jail and then they are released. And why they are released is not always clear, of course. But there are many players like him. And according to us, some of them have been arrested in the past years. Now they are pretty much all out again, back to business.
Vice News was able to confirm that in April of 2024, the Mexican government reached a compensation agreement with Mr. Ming, and he was released. Despite multiple requests, the government would not disclose the amount for which it was compensated. Since 2020, Mexico's Financial Intelligence Unit has arrested approximately 15 Totoaba traffickers, and in early 2023, announced the dismantling of a trafficking ring. But many of these arrests have resulted in failed prosecutions, and the accused were released. The 2024 survey estimated that there are at least 6 to 8 vaquitas remaining in the wild. They represent their species' last hope. Barbara Taylor, a retired NOAA scientist, has worked on vaquita conservation for over 30 years and is the leading American scientist on this matter.
As you speak, the solution seems very tangible: to ban gill nets, to truly get rid of them. I know you've been saying this for decades at this point. Why are we still in this position?
We're still in this position largely because of lack of governmental will and lack of real solid economics to make it move from an unsustainable fishery to a sustainable fishery.
What's in it for the Mexican government?
Not driving their largest endemic mammal extinct on their watch. I mean, that to me is something that you shouldn't be proud of. We're seeing healthy animals out there. They're having calves as fast as they can. I think these survivors know what a gillnet is, and they're probably the cautious ones that are left.
So what would it mean if the vaquita disappears completely?
I think the sad thing about vaquita disappearing is that this ecosystem, which is a hugely productive, one of the most productive marine ecosystems in the world, is just going to be continued to be degraded. We recognize that solving these human problems take longer than a lot of these species have. But there's a wonderful book by Jane Goodall called Hope for the Animals. And it documents all of these different cases where species have gotten down, in some cases to only 2 individuals, in some cases to 10 individuals. And if you just gave them the space, they were able to recover.
Hi, Dr. Goodall. Thank you so much for making the time.
A pleasure. Okay, now where's my vaquita?
Oh, you have one?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Wow.
See? Yeah. A little vaquita, just, and they've got those lovely smiling lips. And they're so beautiful. And so, the smallest dolphin, it's a porpoise really, in the world. And it's worth trying to fight to save them because it's not just the vaquita. It's also the whole Sea of Cortez.
No matter how you see this story, one can argue that everyone has failed the vaquita. Many would ask, what else is there left to do at this point, if anything?
We have to work on the Chinese people to explain about these swim bladders. Really, it's killing so many creatures. And mostly I find in these situations, the people don't actually know. Once they knew that elephant ivory was killing off elephants and there was all this awful slaughter going on in Africa, there was an immediate drop in the ivory trade.
Are there any historical references that you could point to of having such a minimal amount of numbers, less than 10, and then suddenly actually reversing this crisis into a success story?
There are many, many examples. The Arabian oryx was extinct in the wild, and now there's herds all over Saudi Arabia and other parts of the UAE. Bald eagles and peregrines were almost extinct in the US because of the use of DDT. And when that was banned, gradually the numbers rebounded and they're not endangered anymore. I mean, I could go on giving you more and more and more examples.
Many feel that this crisis is about to end, that the vaquita is about to be on the brink of extinction. So what light, if any, do you see at the end of the tunnel?
I do have hope. I always have hope. But hope is tied in with action. And every time one species goes, it's a black mark on our society. So our moral responsibility is to do everything we can to protect all of these creatures, not just the vaquita, but to put our energy into cleaning up the Sea of Cortez from destruction.